everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching my tutorial today. So I'm going to show you how to make these pop-up bouquet cards. This was actually requested by a few people, and a lady called Susan, she sent me a picture from a card that was on the website, not on the high street. There are tons of these versions over on YouTube, and I've seen them in the shops as well. So there's just heaps of inspiration. And if you type in on Pinterest, pop-up bouquet cards, you'll get lots of inspiration there. So these are the two that I made. This Get Well one I made during a Facebook Live. So it's a 5x7 size. It's quite dimensional, so you may prefer to pop this in a box envelope, and I'll link those in the tutorial. But when you open it up, you have this bouquet that will pop up. So I've done this as a Get Well card. I thought it was lovely to send to someone, to make them smile if they're in hospital, or they maybe just come out and they're at home. This is something they can keep displayed and enjoy. And then this is the one that I'm going to show you how to make today. And this is a thank you card. And again, you open it up and there's your pop-up bouquet. Lots of texture. You've got shine here with the glossy accents on the sentiments. And I've added acetate to this, and I'll talk you through that through the tutorial. You can make these any size that you want. You've got your back there to be able to write your message. So I just need to add that onto the back there. And, lots of ways to decorate this, like I said. And a few people have shared it on the Mixed Up Crafters Facebook group. They've not used flowers. They've had other things popping up out of the bouquet, sweets and things like that. So it's a really fun design. And yeah, let me show you how to make these. Okay, so I have already cut everything out. So I'll pop all that to one side, and we'll just go through these pieces here and what I've used. So I'm going to be using the Crafter's Companion basket weave embossing folder to emboss all the cream pieces that I'm using. And then for the flowers, I've used my Bright Rosa ones. Again, these are old, but any flowers will work. And for the words, I'm going to have thank you on this card, so I've used my chunky alphabet set. Okay, so I'm going to have the acetate on the front of mine. So you'll want to cut yourself a piece of 8.5 by 7. If you don't want the acetate front, then this needs to be 10 by 7, this piece, and you will score along the 10-inch side. So imagine that's all there. You'll score at 5 inches through the middle. Because like I said, I want that acetate end. This piece, you're going to score at 3.5. Okay, fold it in half, and you'll see there's your card blank. And then this bit we're going to fill with acetate. You may decide you don't even want the acetate and just keep it open like this. It's entirely up to you, but I do like that little extra. Then for the piece that's going to go inside, you'll see this sits perfectly with the score line matching there, and I've got that nice border all the way around. So again, if you're doing the same size as me, this piece will be, it's just shy of 8 1/4. Okay, it's just in between there, by 6 3/4. And you want to score at 3 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and then just fold and burnish, and again you'll see there it sits inside. If you don't want this, again you're doing the 5x7 size, then this piece here, I'm just going to pop it in so I can see where I need this to be. Then this piece is going to be 9 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, then I've got this piece which is going to go on the front. So if I just fold my card down there, that piece is going to go on the front, and that's going to be embossed, and that is 3 1/4 by 6 3/4. Again, if you've just got your 5-inch side there, then yours will be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I'll pop all the measurements in my blog, so don't worry if you don't need to write them all down now. And then this piece of acetate is 2.5 by 7 is the whole height, because this is going to be sandwiched behind the front one here, so it lines up with the whole width of the card, but then it's going to be sandwiched behind this piece here, like so. Right, next you want to grab this piece, the bit that's going to layer inside the card. Now, it doesn't matter if yours has got the whole 5-inch here, just fold it in half, and you're going to work along the folded side here. And we're going to use this template that I used during the live. So pop it on its side like this, and you just want to mark with a ruler. You're going to mark 1/2 inch up first of all. So I'm going to pop my ruler there. I'm just going to put a little marker at 1/2 inch. Then at 1 1/4, again, just put a little pencil mark. And then at 4 inches. Don't worry, I mean, you can rub this out, but you're not going to see any of this. It's going to be stuck inside the card. So there's 4 inches, okay? Then you're going to cut, but I'm going to mark this with a pencil still, 1 1/4 in from that 4-inch marker. So I'm just going to lay my ruler down, make sure it's nice and straight. I'm just going to draw a line out to 1 1/4. You're then going to join the end of that line to the 1 1/4 one down here. That's going to end up being a score line, but again, if you just draw it all in, and then you're going to come out 1/2 inch from that 1/2 inch marker, like so, and then you're just going to join that again to the 1 1/4 marker. So you'll see now I've got that shape, which is the same as this one. I'll take a picture of this again and pop it onto my blog. I've actually wrote this as a piece of 9 1/2 by 6 3/4 if you're doing the whole 5 by 10 card. So I can't remember what I just gave you before, but that's obviously the correct measurement. Anyway, just check the blog for all of that because it will be on there. Next, you're going to, where I've marked in red, this is score lines. These are cut lines. So with my stylus, and you want this to go through both sides, I'm going to just use my metal ruler and just push down like so. And then again, like so. And then with my scissors, I'm just going to snip to there and then across there. Now, when you open this up, you should be able to see an impression on the other side. So you can just go in there now. Make sure your stylus, the ball is as clean, because sometimes I know if I keep mine in with my pen pot, which I shouldn't do, but it will pick up bits of ink. And then you can just score back in there. And if you feel you want to go over any of the other ones again, you can do. This is what you're now going to see. This is the inside of the card. So I think I'm just going to go back over these. Okay, so now you can pop all that out if you're not going to emboss it, but I now want to emboss the insides. So what I'm going to do, it doesn't matter that you're going to emboss back over that because you're going to cover it with cardstock, but I'm going to pop this in here. Now you would need a larger machine because obviously you've got to put this in widthways, but you might be doing yours on a smaller card. But I'm now going to just pop that in there, and I'm going to run that through that side, and then I'm going to lay it on this side, and I'm also going to emboss this piece here as well. Okay, so that's now all embossed. You can see you get that really lovely effect. Now what you want to do is pop out the vase, the bouquet shape. So you're just pulling it out. You might need to go back in. I'm going to go back in on that score line there. In fact, I'll just use my ruler just to push up against that. And again, just pop that one out. Once you get it into place, you should make sure you get a nice point down here where it joins. So if you just come in from the back, you can push that down. Use your nails. You see there, I've got a nice point. Just need to help that bit in there. And there we go. So all of that is now pointing inside the card, and you'll see you've got your vase to pop up, and that's what's now going to go inside the card like this. Okay, and we're going to cover that so you see a bit much more visible. Okay, now before you stick this in, lay it down so you've got a nice border on all 4 sides. Okay, and just mark with a pencil just below this here, this piece. Okay, see I've just put a little pencil mark. That's now for this little bit that's going to go inside, and I just think this works well because it fills this area and makes the bouquet a bit more fuller. Because most of the ones I saw, they had everything just stuck on the front here or on the back, and then there was quite a gap. So this piece here is 1/2 inch by 2 inches, and I've just scored at 1/4 inch, 1 inch, and 1 3/4. Okay, and then you just want to fold all of the score lines so that they are mounting folds. Okay, like so. Take this away, and you're now going to stick this where the pencil mark, along the pencil mark, with the middle score line running with the score line here. So I'm just going to grab some glue. I've used a similar purple colour just so that it kind of blends in. I'm going to pop just glue on the 2 tabs. And then if you just focus on the score line in the middle and just stick one side down, like so. You can move it around a little bit, like so, and then I can just fold that one under. Just make sure it's nice and straight, and if you fold the card flat, again, you can check everything's going to close. But now you'll see when that goes over there, you can rub the pencil mark out now, but it's all hidden behind that vase. So now we want to stick this piece inside, so I'm going to do one side at a time. So first of all, I'll do this one. Just add your glue all over this piece, and then slide it up to the score line, and then let it kind of fall into place. Just make sure it's right up to that score line, and that way the card will close nicely and open. And then you can fold this side down, add your glue, and then just bring that one up. Now I've just remembered I want to put my acetate into this piece, which some of you are probably thinking, oh Sam, you've not put the acetate down. So I'm just going to open that up. To be honest, you could put it on the front as well if you wanted to. But with this piece here, I'm just going to run some double-sided tape along one end there. It's just enough to hold it in place. Once everything's stuck over the top, it's not going to go anywhere. Take the backing off of one side first, and I'm going to lay this down. Obviously you'll do this without putting the glue on first. You want to get this side flush with the end of the card, and then I'm just going to close that down. So now you'll see it's attached. Now I'm just going to open this one up, take the backing off of the other side. So it's got all that glue there as well, and the clow will stick to acetate as well. So, but now, there we go. So now I've got my acetate, and then I'm just going to stick this piece on the front. Okay, so just make sure that that tucks in there. It will all fit, just when you go to either way, whether you're sticking that side or that side down, first or second, just make sure as you bring it over, that piece, you know, goes into that area there. You'll see now that's all popping up. We've got our acetate on the front, and I've just stuck that piece on the front. So I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. Now we need to cover the bouquet. So this is a piece of 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, and we want to cut across on the diagonals. So I'm cutting from the top left of the short side down to the bottom right. If you're using the pattern paper that's directional, you'll probably have to cut 2 of these and then flip them, because what's going to happen now, you might need to trim a bit more of these, but you'll flip one round and it's going to fit into there, and then this one I can just turn over and it's going to go onto that side there. You'll see that they fit nicely like so. Okay, and this piece here is 5/8 of an inch by 1/2. And again, along the shorter side, I'm going to cut from the top left down to the bottom right, and then these pieces will cover the very bottom there. Again, just flip one over like so. You might need to take a little bit off of them if you feel you need to, but you can see how that's going to look. So I'm going to get that stuck down, and then I'm also going to start building up my flowers and stick my thank you down. So I've already gone ahead and cut probably too many, but that's fine, I can use them on something else. And I'm going to have a couple stuck on the back like so, and then I will have some of the smaller ones stuck on the very front, and then I'm going to cut some strips. I'll probably do cream actually, and have them popping up from this piece. And then I've got some green leaves here, and I will just pop a few of those in. And then I've got my thank you, which I've already die cut, and I die cut it in a purple, and then I die cut it in some white foam, and you can see it's nice and thick. and then I've just covered them with Glossy Accents, and it just gives it a really nice shine. But once I stick them all down, and it just fits, the thank you fits in really just right. I was thinking at first, I don't think it's going to work, but the dies are slightly bigger, so when I was laying the dies down, it didn't look like it would fit. But then when you die cut, see, it's a little bit shorter, but you can see there it just fits in with the, you know, the gap. And then when that closes, the acetate just covers over that. And then for the front, I've got, again, plenty of flowers to do a little arrangement. I've got a butterfly there as well, and some florals. So I'm gonna, sorry, some flourishes. So I'm gonna go and get all of this stuck down, and then I'll show you the finished card. That's the card finished. I've just popped a few little flat back pearls on the centres of the flowers there, and I'm just going to add them to some of the ones here. I've got the other size as well, which I use on the smaller ones, but I just wanted to show you these. You get all different colours. They're two-tone, so I've gone for like one with like a purpley colour in them. Use a little pickup tool or your tweezers. Mine's buried underneath a load of cards at the moment, so I'm just dropping these down into the centre of the flowers there. When I was putting this all together, you would have noticed I kept closing the cards. Every time I stuck a flower down, close the card and just check that nothing's going to catch. You see there it all closes really nicely. So I'm just going to finish popping these in the centres. These are the, I think it was the 6mm, and these are the 3mm. They're all the same colours, so they all match really nicely with each other. So I'm just going to do this last bit so you can see those all stuck down. So you've got lots of dimension, lots of texture. You've got the shine there with the glossy accents. You've got that embossed background, and then there's the front of the card. And I like that you have the sentiment when they take it out of the envelope, they see it, and also when it's displayed, it's still there. And then I would just pop another piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 on the back and write my message. Or you could, if you haven't embossed here, you could write your message just there. And I'll bring back in this one, which is the Get Well. Again, really pretty. Just need to add a bow onto that one there, but it still looks really nice without the bow. So, you know, you don't need to do that. It does lift it a little bit with the one that I've used, but it still looks pretty. And I might add a butterfly onto the front of that one as well. But, you know, both versions I think look really nice. Really different with the acetate on the front, so I'm really pleased with these ones. So I hope you like my pop-up bouquet cards. I think they're really fun, great to cheer somebody up, put a smile on their face. So as always, I'll link what I've used in the description box below, and I'll be back again very soon with more fun tutorials. Thanks for watching. Bye.